A self-consistent woman exudes a relaxed yet upward vitality. This sense of strength is particularly rare and captivating in today's generally anxious era. In psychoanalysis, there is a concept called the true self and the false self. It suggests that if an infant's caregivers can adequately attend to and meet the infant's needs, the infant can develop their true self well. This true self has clear goals and self-planning and lives for itself, embodying self-consistency. Conversely, if the caregivers fail to adequately meet the infant's needs and require the infant to adapt to them instead, the infant, for survival, must hide its true needs and present an obedient, compliant front, the false self. The more the false self develops, the more the true self is suppressed. Gradually, this child becomes someone who always lives for others. A person living for others constantly thinks, "Only if I study well will my parents like me. Only if I am excellent enough and good to my partner will they love me." They are always in a state of waiting and hoping for recognition, with their personal value entirely dependent on others' judgments. This mindset means they hand over all the initiative in relationships to others. Even a slight negative comment from someone can trigger their anxiety. They are always in a tense state, naturally feeling a lot of pressure. So, you see, many people who come to me for consultation have numerous issues in their relationships, such as feeling particularly conflicted, drained, insecure, anxious, and unable to sustain a relationship for long. Essentially, these problems stem from them always presenting a false self to others, meaning they are not self-consistent individuals. Without being self-consistent, they cannot understand themselves or manage their own emotions well. So how can they enter into intimate relationships? Here are 4 points on how to become a self-consistent person. What's the first point? Remember that results do not define the person. What does this mean? For example, if you find that your friend studies better than you might think they are amazing. If you see your colleague always being happy, you might think their life must be great due to a good upbringing. If you see others driving luxury cars and living in big houses, you might think of yourself as a loser. You always envy others, sometimes even feeling jealous. But what you don't know is that your friend's good grades might come at the cost of their sleep. Your colleague might be happy but earns much less than you. The person driving a luxury car might have a chaotic family life. In other words, everything that moves you on the surface is not as good as you imagine. This is the meaning of results do not define the person. Remember this point well and use it effectively. You will no longer feel inferior or envious. You won't feel that everyone is better than you. And you won't blindly feel anxious and lose your way. What's the second point? Never compare yourself to others. Many people who are not self-consistent love to compare their weaknesses to others' strengths, blaming themselves by thinking, "Why am I not good enough? It's all my fault." The more they compare, the more inferior they feel, and the more inferior they feel, the worse they perform. For example, they might be capable of handling a job but feel unqualified because their educational background is not as good as their colleagues, thus missing opportunities. There will always be people who are more talented or more beautiful than you in this world. If you always focus on others' strengths, it fundamentally means you do not recognize your own worth. A person who doesn't believe in themselves cannot expect others to believe in them. What's the third point? Let others adapt to you, not the other way around. People who are not self-consistent base all their self-perception on external feedback and evaluation, changing themselves to please others. For example, if their partner thinks they are too loud, they will constantly remind themselves to speak less. If the next partner thinks they are too quiet, they will force themselves to be more lively. They can change to meet their partner's ideal, becoming quiet or lively. But these are not their true selves. A truly self-consistent person would say, "If you think I'm too loud, find someone quieter." What's the fourth point? Dare to face your inner desires. Everyone has a slightly dark side in their inner world, such as vanity, laziness, or material ambition. These are normal. Those who cannot accept their dark side have a contradictory and self-attacking inner world. They have significant internal needs, but constantly try to fight them, remaining in a conflicted state until they eventually break down. You need to understand that the more you resist something, the more likely you are to be enslaved by it and become it. Some might ask, if I do all these things, will others like me? If you have this mindset, you cannot become self-consistent. Truly self-consistent people do not care whether others like them and will not change themselves to gain others' approval. You go to the gym not to get compliments on your body, but to have better posture and presence. You work hard and study hard to become excellent not for anyone else but for yourself, to allow your true self to develop fully. Only then can you become a person with a strong core, a truly self-consistent individual. If you enjoyed this series, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your free likes are the greatest encouragement for me. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.